Inside this mighty hall at the State House in Banjul, a cabinet meeting has just ended. Convened by President Barrow, this weekly meeting of the President, Vice President, Cabinet Ministers and the Secretary General is designed to chart a new roadmap for a more progressive Gambia. Lamin Queen-Jammeh is the Information Minister.
Next to this were the presentation of cabinet papers, beginning with the one on financing agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and the Islamic Development Bank regarding the widening of Batin Hadin Highway Phase 2 project by the Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs. The Honorable Minister said the widening of the Batin Hadin Highway project is part of the developmental objectives of the government to enhance the Batin Hadin Highway to a 2x3 road with more improved and developed intersections aimed at boosting economic development within the Greater Banjul area by differently and indifferently supporting the tourism, commercial and other economic and social sectors of the Gambia.
Information Minister Lamin Queen-Jammeh said a total of $79.8 million was contracted to finance the Phase 1 of the project with the Islamic Bank, Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, and Kuwait Fund covering 18%, 25%, and 25% respectively of the total project cost. The government of the Gambia covered the remaining contribution of 32%, valuing up to $26 million.
The Honorable Minister then informed Cabinet that significant work progress has been achieved on the Phase 1 of the project, with almost 55% of the work activities completed. However, due to budgetary constraints and new adjustments to the initial work plan to accommodate improvements in the project design and scope, the government contracted an additional loan under a new phase of the project. The Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs went further to inform Cabinet that the loan had been presented and ratified by the National Assembly.
The forum also discussed the University of the Gambia Project Phase 2 agreement between the Arabic Bank for Economic Development in Africa and the Republic of the Gambia, again presented by the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs.
The Honorable Minister said that Cabinet is being informed about the University of the Gambia Phase 2 project signed between the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa and the Republic of the Gambia, which aims to meet the needs of the labor market, support economic and social development, and contribute to poverty alleviation in the country.
Lamin Queen-Jammeh said a total of $23 million was contracted to finance the Phase 2 of the project from the Islamic Development Bank and Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, covering 30.4% and 69.5% respectively.
The Honorable Minister in the prayer explained that the University of the Gambia Phase 2 project has been signed and the Cabinet is hereby informed of this and cordially urged to support its implementation for the overall achievement of the NDP objectives and the socio-economic development of the Gambia. Like the previous paper, the Honorable Minister also reported that the paper had been presented to and ratified by the National Assembly.
The third cabinet paper discussed was a revolving line of credit agreement between the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa and the government of the Gambia, again presented by the Minister of Finance.
The Honorable Minister explained that the overarching goal of the trade finance facility is influx of forex to facilitate importation of staple food items like rice and grains and other commodities like petroleum products from African and Arab countries. And like the previous two papers, this was also presented and ratified by the National Assembly of the Gambia.
This formal interaction of the Cabinet and the President is relevant. The platform advises the President as he takes new measures to meet the development aspirations of Gambians. Louis Mendy, GRTS.